Hello, and welcome to the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. I hope everyone has been enjoying an extended type holiday, Christmas, even if you have to be back to work. I hope you're still in the Christmas spirit. And also, I hope if you have not subscribed to the Adrienne Ross Show, that you would do that. You see on the screen, it says subscribe, like, share. That's scrolling across. It also asks if you've checked out the second channel yet, Adrienne Ross Squared. Adrienne Ross Squared, squaring off from A to Z. Did a video on Adrienne Ross Squared last night. It's sort of a lighthearted one. It was about Oprah Winfrey and her truffle zest privilege. Interesting. You got to go check it out over at Adrienne Ross Squared. Also, check out the welcome video over there. If it seems to suit your fancy, smash the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. All right. But now let's turn our attention to this channel, The Adrienne Ross Show. And I want to talk a little bit about Lexie Hull, who recently did an interview on Locked On Women's Basketball with Howard Megdal. And there were some nuggets in it. I'd like to cover a couple of those nuggets, and probably in two different videos. Today, I want to talk about Howard's questions about Coach Stephanie White, because it really gets into how Lexie Hull sees Stephanie White, what Stephanie White's expectations are for this team, and even the role that Stephanie White wants Lexie Hull to take on. I think it's really interesting with this new coach and her vision for this team. So, like I said, this will probably be a two-part thing. I'll deal with something different in the next video, but let's take a look at a part of this video. I'll probably stop it along the way and weigh in and then come back to it. So join me over at Locked On Women's Basketball.
Howard Megdal here, back with Locked On Women's Basketball, and Lexie Hull is here. We're going to talk about Unrivaled in just a moment, but first, Stephanie White coming to town, and somebody who I had the privilege of covering in her last go-round, which not coincidentally involved the Indiana Fever in the WNBA Finals, right? So this is a winner. This is somebody who clearly knows how to take a team where it needs to go. Take me inside sort of what those initial conversations with her have been like.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think, immediate reaction to her is she's a winner and she will pull what's best out of everybody, and just very excited about the opportunity to learn from her. And obviously she's went to Purdue, played with the Fever, coached with the Fever. So she's a legend in Indianapolis. So excited to have her back and excited to just be able to completely dive in with her. And I think everyone's going to be really bought in, and just excited to see, how she tweaks things and her vision of how we can be better, and individually how we can be better to collectively be the best we could be. So just really excited. And I know that she's excited to be there and excited to change what we can do.
Now, Lexie Hull used the word excited, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times. And that's a good sign, because the first thing she started with was that Stephanie White is a winner. And when you know that your coach is a winner and has a winner's mentality, you have every reason to be excited. She said she's excited. She said Coach Stephanie White is excited. You're talking about winning now. You're not just talking about existing. You're not just talking about taking the floor. You're talking about winning. And an excited Indiana Fever is going to continue to be an exciting Indiana Fever. Let's continue.
Have you been given any sort of specific charge from her of, I'm going to look for this from you, I'm going to look for a different role more? I'm just wondering, how you've sort of framed that in your mind for what you want to bring when you come to training camp.
Yeah, I mean, she's mentioned specific ways I can be more dynamic. So,
Okay, so stopping right here. It is obviously assumed that Lexie Hull will be a part of this team. I think we kind of figured that anyway when they're doing their maneuverings and their draftings and all this other stuff. I think we figured that Lexie Hull would be in the mix. Maybe she's not the one referred to in the big three. We expect that to be Caitlin and Kelsey, hopefully, and Aaliyah. And so maybe Lexie's not in the big three, but she's in the picture.
Finishing at all three levels.
Let me back it up just a little bit.
Mention specific ways I can be more dynamic. So, finishing at all three levels, being able to use my size and post up and have more of a mid-range game to just make me harder to guard. And I think, when you make all 5 players on the court hard to guard, it's going to make us really good. But also she's, going to be focused on that defensive side. So bringing as much as I can on that end as well. So I think she just is expecting a lot from everybody. And as every coach should, I'm excited about that.
Now, this is something I definitely want to see. She said that Coach Stephanie has been talking about utilizing Lexie's size, having her post up. Most of the time, we see Lexie Hull in the corner, usually the left corner, looking for her shot, which we don't mind her shooting the shot because she showed when she got into a rhythm, when she was given an opportunity, she could knock down the shot. But to vary her game is going to be great. She talked about more of the mid-range game. We would see Lexie sometimes she'd get the ball in the corner and the defense would close out. She would drive a little bit toward the basket, but she didn't really get too far there. She just sort of didn't seem like she was in her element. And but with a coach who's working on her, putting her down, letting her post up a little bit, that's gonna be good to see. And then also getting comfortable with the mid-range game, the drive, the pull-up in the mid-range area. Looking forward to that because I'm not a huge fan of a one-trick pony, as they say. I'm not a huge fan of somebody who's just like, yeah, this is what you do, and that's all you're known for. It's too easy to guard that way. And this is what she is saying, that Stephanie White wants to make sure that all of them are more difficult to guard. You don't want people to say, that's what she does. That's like with Caitlin Clark. Kennedy Carter said, other than 3-pointers, what does she bring to the table? And we found out what she brings to the table. And it's not just the logo 3. And that's the kind of player every player should want to be. Okay, you've got your special area. That's great too. But let's extend it and expand it. And it sounds like Coach Stephanie, the winner, is already talking about that.
When it comes to what this team can do in the immediate future, I said on the podcast last year, I thought you guys had a ceiling of reaching the WNBA finals. And frankly, with a different start, you have a different seed and a different path, and it would have been interesting to see. But I won't be the only one saying that coming up this year. And in your mind, do you feel as if a championship is not just a realistic goal, but what you guys are aiming for here?
Yeah. I mean, we beat basically.
Okay, listen. She didn't even hesitate. And sometimes players try really hard to tread lightly so that they don't become locker room fodder and all this other stuff, and that they're not sure, they're uncomfortable, they're not confident. She did not hesitate at all when he asked about, do you feel like you can be in the running for a championship? Yeah, it was immediate. I love that. And a lot of that has to do, yes, with your confidence as a player, but the coaching staff, big time. I just want to see that. Yeah, again, real quick.
Yeah. I mean, we beat basically every team in the WNBA this year. So anything's possible. And it's a matter of stringing together 4 good quarters when it matters. So yeah, I think our ceilings is a championship, and hopefully we can reach that.
I just wanted to share that with you. Like I said, this is part 1. I'd like to share a little something else with you, more on the cultural side of things. But this really is culture, because every team has to have a culture of winning. I said this early in the season when I first started saying, I didn't first jump on the bandwagon of get rid of Coach Sides, fire Coach Sides, but it didn't take long because what I was seeing in terms of the defense they were playing, what I was seeing in terms of their lack of boxing out, for example, what I was seeing in terms of effort in some cases, I did a video, I talked about this, and I said it has to do with the culture. The coach sets the culture. Nope, the coach cannot get out there and do it for them. And sometimes you're preaching stuff over and over again, and in their case, not having a whole lot of practices, and so it's not coming together. But the boxing out and the rebounding and stuff, I mean, you're in the professional level, it should be like waking up in the morning. It should be that natural, but people are people, and the coach sets the culture with the expectations. And so we were seeing a lack of that then, but this is culture now. So when we're talking about winning, when we're talking about the coach Stephanie saying, this is what I expect coming into this new season, she's already setting the culture of the team. And that's what you want. And the earlier or the sooner, the better. So I heard winner. I heard excited. I heard dynamic. I heard championships. Okay. I heard a quick yes with the question about championships. So I heard some things I really like to hear as we wait out the long off season. So what are your thoughts? I'm going to put the link to the full interview so that you can watch the whole thing. Like I said, I want to show you another piece of this at another time. At least that's my plan. But in the meantime, if you want to check it out, I want you to be able to check it out. Locked On Women's Basketball. All right. Remember, get in the comment section, chop it up respectfully with one another, and like and subscribe. And again, you can go over to the second channel. You see the information scrolling across the screen there. It is Adrienne Ross squared, squaring off from A to Z. So go check that out. I'm just less than 20 subscribers from 700 subscribers on that new A to Z channel. All right. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.